Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry Rogozhny, and today I will show you how to generate PDF files using SharePoint list as a data source. As usual, I will start with the functionality, and afterwards I will show you the implementation details. So let's start. Here I've got a SharePoint list called Travels, and it contains several items describing different travels. So for a particular travel, we've got a title, starting and the final destination, date of the travel, and details about the driver and the vehicle. So here I can select a particular list item and select from one of the actions available. So here I've got the export item action. So if I'll click it, you can see that I've got a PDF file generated. So if I'll open this file, you can see that I've got details from this item used as the data source for this PDF file. So we've got the title and we've got all the information about the travel in this list. Also, there's the export item section. So I can select multiple items and I can call the export items action. So it will generate another PDF. And if I'll open it, you can see that now I've got a table that contains information about all the selected items. And the last one is I've got the travel list action. So if I'll select an item and if I'll select this action, it will generate a PDF file that will look like that. So it will have a title, information about the selected travel. It will have a static image of a travel map, and I'm using the Bing's map here, and also it will contain a link to open the route in the Bing Maps. So if I'll click on this link, view this route in Bing Maps, or I will click on the image, it will open the Bing Maps with a calculated route between the Heathrow and Gatwick airports. Okay, so that's it for the functionality. So here you can see that we can use SharePoint Framework extensions to implement custom actions that can be used to generate PDF files on the fly, and we can use SharePoint lists and document libraries as a data source for these generated PDFs. And we can generate simple PDF files, we can generate tables inside PDF files, and even images. Okay, that's it for the functionality, and now let's take a look at the implementation. Here I've got the project opened in the Visual Studio Code, and I will provide a link to the demo project in the description of this video. So here we've got the source folder, which contains the source code for our extension, and here it is. So first of all, let's open the manifest file, and you can see that here I've got these three actions that we've already seen defined. So there's the export list, export item, and generate travel list actions. Now let me open the source code for the extension, and here you can see first of all on list view updated function. This function will be called every time a user selects an item in a list. So here we receive export item command and generate travel list command. So these two commands should be shown only if a single item has been selected in the list. So here we check, we get the information from the event, and we check the amount of rows that have been selected, and after that we make these commands visible only if a single item has been selected. And another function that I'd like to show you is on execute. So this one will be called every time a user executes or runs one of our actions. So here in the event details we'll have the ID of the action that have been requested, and we depending on the particular command we call a function to perform the PDF generation. So in case of export list, this will be the export list function, and we will pass the title of the list and a list of IDs of items that have been selected in the list. If it is an export item action, we will call the export item function, providing the title of the list and the ID of the selected item. And if it's a generate travel list action, we will call generate travel list function, providing the title, selected item ID, and the HTTP GET function. And it's just this function is just a wrapper around the standard SharePoint Framework HTTP client GET function, and this has been done just to abstract this generate travel list function from SharePoint Framework. So this function will know nothing about the SharePoint Framework, so it just needs the HTTP GET something to perform HTTP GET requests. So this way the function will be able to do requests for the some information from Bing Maps, and at the same time it will know nothing about the SharePoint Framework, so we can use it in other places as well without a need to provide the additional context. Okay, and as an example, let's take a look at the export item function. So I will go to its definition, and as you can see here, in addition to extensions folder, I've got the services folder, which contains the list of files. And so the export service file will contain will export functions that are responsible for export functionality. So we can see here three functions: export list, export item, and generate travel list. So these functions are called by corresponding actions. And for the export item, here we get the item using the list title and item ID, and then once we'll receive this item, we will call the export item to PDF function. So the get item function is a really simple one. So if I'll go to its definition, you can see that it's located in the SP service. So it's it contains a set of functions that work with SharePoint. So I'm using here you can see that I'm using the PNPSP package to get SharePoint items, and for get item function I'm calling the SP web list get by title and get to get the list, and then to get the item by ID. And once I'll get the item, I will resolve the promise and will pass the item as the data. So if I'll go back to the export item function, so here we'll receive the item, and then we will call the export item to PDF function. So if I'll go to the definition of this function, you can see that it is located in the PDF service. So all the functions, depending on their functionality, are located in different files. So this way it is easier to work with them. And let me scroll a little bit. So here we've got the export item to PDF function, and it calls the generate PDF function, passing the title and a description of fields for this item. So get fields function, it will return a number of pairs for this item, and fields. So every field will be described by the this field interface. So it will have each property will be described by the label and the value. And generate PDF file. It's located in this in the same file. So it will create a new GSPDF object, and this one is provided by the GSPDF package. So it is an npm package that allows to provides the functionality for generating PDF files inside the browser. So we'll create a new document. We will set font styles for a header. We'll add a header. Then we will set styles for the regular text, and for each field we will add a text describing its label and the value. And after that we will return the created document back to the export item to PDF function. And here we will call the save function on this object, which will generate the PDF file, and it will save it to in a user's browser. And let me go back to the extension. And other functions like export list and generate travel list, they work in a similar way. So export list, if I'll go to its definition, you can see that it gets all the SharePoint items using the IDs provided and the title of the list, and after that it calls the export list to PDF function. So if I'll go to this function, it's in the PDF service. So here you can see that I'm getting information for a table. So I need to generate a table. So for table headers, I get information from the SharePoint items that I've retrieved, and for body of the table it is the same. So I'm taking the items and I taking the description of its fields, and after that I create a new GSPDF object. I'm using the auto table function and provide the head and body to this function, and then I'm calling the save function to generate PDF. One note here is that the auto table function right here, it is provided by the additional plugin. So if I'll scroll all the way up, you can see that I'm importing the GSPDF from the GSPDF package, and also I'm importing the GSPDF auto table, which is a plugin for GSPDF package, and it will this plugin will add the auto table function. So later, when I'll call here auto table, it will have this function and it will generate the table for the PDF file. Okay, and the last function here is for generating travel list. So it will generate a PDF file describing with a description of an item, and also the image of it with image taken from the Bing Maps for a route, and also a link to a Bing maps with this route. Okay, so if I'll go to this function, you can see that here I'm getting this SharePoint item that has been selected. I'm getting information about the from and to location. I'm getting the static link to Bing Maps, and after that, so this URL it will contain a link that will open in the Bing Maps, and it will provide the information about the route from the starting to the final destination. And here I get information. I need to get. I'm getting the Bing API key, which is stored in the SharePoint storage. So here I'm I'm using the PNPSP package to get the API key for Bing Maps, and I've previously added it, so it is described in the README file how to set up this demo environment. So the main idea here is that I do not store the Bing API key in here. I retrieve it from the SharePoint environment, and using this API key, let me go back to the export service. So using this API key, if it's provided, I can get a URL to the static image that will show the route between 2 points. Okay, and using this URL, I'm using the HTTP get function to get this image. If something is wrong with the API key, so I will get the non-authorized HTTP status code. So we will call the generate travel list to PDF with undefined, so there will be no image. And if everything is okay, then we will get the image, and we will call the generate travel list to PDF, passing the image as an argument, along with the item itself and the Bing Maps URL. And in this generate travel list to PDF function, I will generate a PDF file, and we've seen this generate PDF function previously in the export item to PDF function. So we'll generate the description. After that, we will add an image and link to the Bing Maps over this image, and at the bottom we will add the text with a link. So view this route in Bing Maps, and we'll provide the URL. And once our PDF document is ready, we will call the save to generate the PDF file. Okay, and that's it for the implementation. So once again, in this demo, we've seen how we can use SharePoint data as a data source to generate PDF files in the browser. So I hope you found this interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye!